Opposition in ED crosshairs. As the ED versus Arvind Kejriwal battle booms in Delhi, poll-bound Rajasthan witnessed to a massive ED crackdown. Latest swoop related to a probe into implementation of Jal Jeevan Mission. ED conducted searches at 25 locations across Rajasthan as part of its money laundering investigation into the implementation of the centre's Jal Jeevan Mission in the poll-bound state. Raids are being conducted in Jaipur, Dausa, including the premises of Additional Chief Secretary in Public Health Engineering Department, Subodh Agarwal. Raids come at the back of Rajasthan's Anti-Corruption Bureau, arresting 2 ED officials for allegedly taking bribes. Earlier, ED had summoned Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot's son, Vaibhav Gehlot. The agency had also questioned many Congress leaders on the paper leak scam. Rajasthan CM Ashok Gehlot questioned the timing, the objective and the intent of agencies. Gehlot lashed out at the centre, saying that dirty politics is being played by opposition in state only to win elections.
पूरे देश के अंदर कोई आर्थिक अपराधी को नहीं पकड़ा जा रहा है। छापे पड़ रहे हैं, पॉलिटिशियन भी पड़ रहे हैं, विपक्षी पार्टी पड़ रहे हैं।
The BJP quick to retort that the chickens have come home to roost.
जब पर्दा उठने लगता है पुराने कुकर्मों पर, तब इस प्रकार का सवाल करते हैं। इसलिए ईडी की जो कार्रवाई है वो वैधानिकता लिए हुए हैं। अगर उसमें अवैधानिक कोई काम है तो निश्चित तौर पर उनको करना चाहिए।
ED crackdown, due diligence or political vendetta? Top focus on India Today.
All right, good evening. You're watching To The Point. I'm Preeti Choudhry. Let's quickly cut across, before we go to our political panelists, to my colleague Dev Ankur Vadhavan joining us live from Jaipur. And then we'll cut across to our BJP and Congress panelists. Dev, it's getting hot in the state of Rajasthan, both politically and with central agencies swooping in. One crackdown after another, while the state is just 22 days before polling.
A very, contrived, interesting turn of events, Preeti. The Enforcement Directorate has not just raided officials of the water department in Jaipur, but also raided some very senior politicians. That includes the Rajasthan Congress chief, Govind Singh Dotasra. His premises in Jaipur and Sikar have been raided. The Rajasthan Chief Minister's son, Vaibhav Gehlot, he was summoned to Delhi. He has already been there. And in an exclusive conversation with India Today, Preeti, he clearly mentioned that the attempt is to, through politically motivated raids, to discourage, to cultivate a sense of fear so that politicians are not, contributing their time towards campaigning, but more focused on how to, present their cases before ED. Vaibhav Gehlot spent around 8 hours in Delhi undergoing interrogation by the Enforcement Directorate. He has been again summoned before the state goes to elections. So the Congress, right now, Preeti, wants to play this on the political field.
Well, the Congress, they might want to play it on the political field, but also the last 3 days has been an interesting turn of events. It's agency versus agency. You have the ED coming in questioning Dotasara's son, Vaibhav Gehlot's son. Then you have the ACB arresting 2 ED officials, and then you have the ED officials once again swooping down in Rajasthan.
Oh, absolutely, Preeti. In fact, India Today broke that story about how one Enforcement Directorate official, Naval Kishore Meena, was arrested along with his associate, allegedly red-handed accepting a bribe of 15 lakh rupees. Now, the ACB, that is the Rajasthan Anti-Corruption Bureau, maintains that this is a case of chit fund. The concerned accused official was trying to hush up a case, trying to tell the other party that, if you want to evade arrest, if you want to evade attaching of property, you need to shell out this much of money. The initial demand was of 17 lakh rupees. The matter got settled at 15 lakh rupees. The matter went to the ACB. The complaint was taken up. The ACB, acting on the complaint, arrested these 2 people. And thereafter, the raids come from the Enforcement Directorate side today. So is it you hit against me, I will hit against you kind of a thing happening in Rajasthan? Is the Rajasthan government asking the agency, the ACB, to go after the ED after the ED went after the Chief Minister's son and the State Congress chief? So interesting questions.
Okay. Interesting turn of events.
Are extremely
and things are only going to heat up because now the heat of the political campaign will kick in. They've 22 days is when Rajasthan goes to polls, and even when it comes down to the lists, even they are not finalized. So lots going on in the state of Rajasthan. Thank you, Dev, for joining us. Apologies for interrupting you. Just need to quickly bring in our political guests into the conversation. Swarnim Chaturvedi, spokesperson Congress, joining us from Jaipur, as well as Sanju Verma, national spokesperson Bharatiya Janata Party. Sanju Verma, let me begin with you with a question that you must have answered at least the last 10 times on my show over the course of 40 days. What is this washing machine effect where it comes down to the central agencies only finding opposition parties and nothing when it comes down to the BJP leaders?
Okay, you know, Preeti, I'm so glad you asked me this. We've debated about it a zillion times, particularly on your show. Without beating around the bush, I would just like to tell your audience that I think the most pertinent judgment on this entire narrative that the ED and the CBI are being weaponized by the BJP against the opposition in a case of selective targeting. I think the most profound judgment in this count came on the 5th of April 2023 by no less than the Chief Justice of India, Justice Chandrachud. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, as you recall, Preeti, was representing a fractious gathering of 14 opposition parties, and the words used by Abhishek Manu Singhvi was, ED is being weaponized, the BJP is selectively targeting opposition-ruled states, and the ED is behaving in a manner which is illegal and reeks of authoritarianism. And what did Justice Chandrachud say? He said, if you have a specific case come to us, do not hide behind statistics of a generic argument. And then he said, Mr. Singhvi, you say that the political space for the opposition is crunching. So if there is a crunch in the political space, the solution is the political space itself, not the judiciary, nor the courts, unless you come to us with a specific complaint. Abhishek Manu Singhvi had a nice, big, fat, wobbly omelette on his face and chose to withdraw his petition. Okay. Point number one. And just very quickly, point number two. You know, for people who say that BJP ahead of polls is weaponizing, I have been on your show and you ask me very tough questions, which you always do, and I welcome that. Ahead of the Karnataka polls, I remember, Preeti, you told me, you know, K. Ishwarappa, 40% commission Sarkara. K. Ishwarappa was not given a ticket. He was asked to resign as the Panchayati Raj minister, even when charges leveled against him by the deceased Santosh Patil, the contractor in this case, were not proven. But I ask you one thing. D.K. Shivkumar is facing money laundering charges, but he is the CM in waiting. Vaibhav Gehlot, has he denied the charges? And I always say, look for a smoking gun. You mentioned Vaibhav Gehlot. The money laundering charges pertain to Vaibhav Gehlot's stake in two companies, Triton Hospitality and Vardha Enterprises. And the chairman and director of Vardha Enterprises and Triton Hospitality, Shiv Shankar Sharma and Ratan Kant Sharma, have deposed against Vaibhav Gehlot. So there is a smoking gun, proceeds of crime, a money trail that is established. Opposition yadi roda dhona karti hai, to bhai sahab rote rahiye.
All right. Okay, Sanju Verma, you know, just a 10-second answer before I cut across to Mr. Swarnim Chaturvedi. Madam, who do you remember from the BJP who was questioned by the central agencies of late? Because we are finding it very difficult from our team to find a name.
Okay. I have this to say, and I will not beat around the bush, Preeti, because I don't hold, office here for either a Narayan Rane or Ajit Pawar, or for that matter, a Himanta Biswa Sarma. I take names and I respond because that is the kind of candor I like on debates where we can have a rational conversation. My simple logic is this. आपको प्रॉब्लम है अजीत पवार के साथ, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का दरवाजा खटखटाइए. आपको नारायण राणे के खिलाफ यू हैव प्रूफ, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का दरवाजा खटखटाइए. आपके पास प्रूफ है अगेंस्ट हिमंता बिस्वा शर्मा, सुप्रीम कोर्ट का दरवाजा खटखटाइए. बट आई वांट टू आस्क, इफ द ऑपोजिशन इज सो इनोसेंट, why is Manish Sisodia still behind bars? Why has Satinder Jain been not given a clean check? Why is Sanjay Singh still behind bars? His custodial interrogation has been extended. जवाब है ऑपोजिशन के पास?
All right. Okay, Sanju Verma, the fact is, as I bring in Swarnim Chaturvedi, with what you said, Supreme Court का दरवाजा खटखटाएगा. The opposition says, भाई इनका central agency कब दरवाजा खटखटाएगी? क्योंकि हमारा तो आए दिन खटखटा रही है. पर that's fine. I want to just cut across to Swarnim Chaturvedi. देखिए, Swarnim Chaturvedi, the point is, if you get down to it, your own people, we had this conversation the last time as well, Mr. Chaturvedi. You had Sachin Pilot who built a whole campaign on paper leaks and how those people responsible for paper leaks need to be held responsible. Now that the investigation is happening, now that the central agencies are cracking the whip, you are crying witch hunt. This is what you wanted. This is what your people wanted.
No, actually, what I want to say is the central agencies are being misused just to promote the vendetta politics of BJP. And if you see the success rate of BJP, my allegation would substantiate that they could not find 29% cases where they can file charge sheet against the accused. So I know, and we all know, the ED raids in the states when the elections are going and BJP is weak, they work as a frontal organization of Bharatiya Janata Party. So why should we knock the door of the Supreme Court? BJP should BJP or ED. I don't know if the spokesperson is sitting. They are supporting BJP or ED, but they are seems like they are the spokesperson of ED. But I should tell that there is no success rate of BJP. They should at least declare, or they should at least disclose that what they could find when earlier they raided our leaders. They just could not disclose it. And we all know what BJP is doing. They are sending the central agency just to harass our leaders, just to incur fear in our workers. But we are the workers of Rahul Gandhi. We don't fear central agencies because we have worked for the public and we are doing the service for the people. So,
but Swarnim Chaturvedi, if you haven't done anything, then why fear? Let the agencies come and go.
We don't fear.
Or you think the agencies are compromised?
We have seen the agencies are compromised. Our Rajasthan police has just arrested 2 ED officials for accepting bribes. So we all know the agencies are compromised. They should at least declare or disclose in the earlier raids. Did they found anything against us? Did they found any black money stashed? But we all know in Rajasthan, BJP leaders make statements that ED is coming in 3 days. ED will raid 6 ministers of the Congress party. And what I am saying is, I'm just repeating the statement of BJP MP, Mr. Kiruri Lal Meena. He declared and he made a statement that ED will raid premises of 6 Congress ministers.
All right, Swarnim Chaturvedi, just hold on to that thought. Okay, finish what you're saying. Then I want to bring in Sanju Verma back into the conversation. Finish, sir.
So what I am saying is that BJP, ED and other central agencies, they are working on the behest of BJP leaders. And we have seen BJP leaders took the ED to the private locker company, alleging that 500 crore is being stashed here or here. But when they opened the locker,
all right, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, Sanju Verma, the waters are muddied with what the opposition is saying. Because, I'll quote you some figures. Only 23 convictions under PMLA, the act which was formed in 2002, have been secured as of now, even as the number of cases registered by the ED under the PMLA have risen exponentially from 209 in 2013-14 to 981 in 2021. And out of that, 92% of these cases, Sanju Verma, are on the opposition. So you have data to practically assist the charges that the opposition is bolstering their claim with, that the agencies are compromised.
Okay. So, Preeti, since you have chosen to speak with data, I will counter you with data. And the first data point is this, that, the ED's conviction rate, particularly with respect to only PMLA-related investigations, the conviction rate is 96%. And in most cases, be it a Manish Sisodia, be it a Sanjay Singh, be it Agra Singh Gehlot, the brother of Ashok Gehlot, be it Vaibhav Gehlot, the son of Ashok Gehlot, be it Partha Chatterjee, if you notice, Preeti, you do your homework. In most of these cases, there is a joint probe by both the Enforcement Directorate and the CBI, and the CBI strike rate is the highest globally at 97.3% across a broad array of cases. So conviction rate पर न जाते हुए, I simple question. Let's cut through the fluff. Let us talk specifically of a state which is going to poll in barely a few days. Chhattisgarh, the Mahadev app betting scam. I just want to ask one thing to the Congress spokesperson with your permission. The two founders of this app are Ravi Uppal and a man called Saurabh Chandrakar. Is it true that Saurabh Chandrakar is the cousin of Kshitij Chandrakar? Kshitij Chandrakar is the son-in-law of Bhupesh Baghel, married to his daughter Divya Baghel. Ye baat ka jawab dijiye.
All right, okay. You know, he can come back.
Related
Sanju Verma, he can come back with it, but Sanju Verma, hold on to that thought, because you bought in Chhattisgarh. We are just going to go into a news break, because on the long list of opposition leaders in poll-bound state, another name is added, and that is of Mr. Bhupesh Baghel. And that's the news that we are breaking right now, and we'll come back to Sanju Verma for a quick reaction, as well as the Congress spokesperson. The ED has claimed Mahadev betting app promoters had given 508 crores to Chhattisgarh Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel so far. The probe is on. From the questioning of Asim Das and from the forensic examination of the phone recovered from him and examination of an email sent by Shubham Soni, one of the high-ranking accused of Mahadev network. Now, this is all ED information. What they suggest are startling allegations that have come forth, namely the regular payments have been made in the past, and so far 500 crores have been paid by Mahadev app promoters to the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Bhupesh Baghel. That's a big news break that we are getting in. Now back to Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, I think we just took up that opposition name by one more name, this time another poll-bound state. Now you yourself are finding it funny, Sanju Verma, you're laughing. I'm not saying anything. So after Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh charged with accepting 508 crores from Mahadev app promoters. Reactions, ma'am?
Preeti, you know, abhi meri hasi se, mere smile se bhi logon ko problem hai. I am not taking a jive at you, but I was in a debate 3 days back on another channel, and I was smiling. The panelist said, "Why is she smiling? Why is she laughing?" So it's come down to that, leaving these guys so rattled. But be that as it may, speaking on a more serious note, without a smirk or a smile, let me just say this to you. I always say that in a money laundering case, there are 3 things which are very important, which any probe agency anywhere in the world will look at: the intent, bona fide or mala fide, the proceeds of crime, and a money trail. And if the ED says that 508 crore has been surreptitiously given to no less than the Chief Minister Bhupesh Baghel, and I just told you that Saurabh Chandrakar, the co-founder of Mahadev betting app, is the cousin of the son-in-law of Bhupesh Baghel.
I need to close the bulletin. I want to bring in Swarnim Chaturvedi for just 20 seconds. Swarnim Chaturvedi ji, I think Mr. Kamal Nath should be told that something could be coming next, because you have Rajasthan in battle now, you have Chhattisgarh in battle, and this time Bhupesh Baghel charged with taking 508 crores by the ED on the Mahadev app, by the Mahadev app founders. That's a big allegation, Mr. Chaturvedi.
Actually, we all know there is only one issue in all these poll-bound states. That is, one is comparison between the central government and the state governments. That central government is responsible for the hardship due to price rise and unemployment. And in Rajasthan, we are giving relief, and we have given guarantee of minimum income. So they just want to change the narrative. And that's why they are.
But will they be able to change the narrative? Sanju Verma, I'm terribly out of time. I'm terribly out of time.
10 seconds.
No, I'm sorry. Miss Verma, you've had your chances. I'm terribly out of time. I need to close the show. The Congress, they're very clearly calling this a witch hunt, but the latest name, now these are grave allegations. The sitting Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, who's going into elections in just a few days, 7th is when Chhattisgarh goes to polls, and the Chief Minister has now been charged of accepting 508 crores by the charge made by the Enforcement Directorate that he accepted this money coming in from the promoters of the Mahadev app. We're going to keep a keen eye on all developments. Thank you for joining us.